Welcome to the Toolers channel and this how-to video on Kamikaze tokens for the Axis and Allies game. Now, you've got Kamikaze tokens, they're cardboard with a squiggle on them. Mine are plastic with a squiggle on them, but they look a damn sight cooler than those ones. I also miss these sometimes. It's a darker blue on a lighter blue. Yep, I make a complete fool of myself and forget to have a Kamikaze strike at certain times when it would really have helped me out in a game. But before I go on to the how you make them section of this, I would just remind you that I make these videos in aid of a charity called Cure Parkinson's. You can guess what they're trying to do. There is a link to them below this video and there'll be one in the banner on the channel page. If you happen to have a spare IPC you can send them, I'm sure they would appreciate it. Let's get back to showing you a finished article. I haven't made them all yet, but they're on the way. Here is a finished one. It's pretty damn cool, if I say so myself. Let me tip it over so you can see a bit more of the top view of the plane. Yep, there is some Kamikaze writing on there, and I'll show you how you can do all that over at the worky spacey bit just alongside me. So here we are at my worky space, and I can make a promise to you that I do not have shares in this company that make this superfine two-part epoxy putty, but this is the stuff that I use very much in my modelling for various different bits and pieces in my game. Let's start off with the plane first. Now, here's one that hasn't been mounted. You can paint yours any colours you like. I wanted to go for a dark colour for a very good reason. Where's it gone? There it is. Because I have a white gel pen. I've got quite a manga-ish style paintwork going on there, and I'm very happy with the way it worked out. Using the gel pen, I wrote on an approximation of the squiggle that's here from the Axis and Allies token. I did not have any confidence that this gel pen would have any kind of permanence to it. I was also a bit concerned about painting on matte acrylic varnish, thinking the brush and the water in the varnish may set this gel off and make it move and smudge. So I sprayed it with a spray can of matte acrylic varnish before I put the top coat on of the thicker brushed on version. It's very easy to write with one of these pens. It's very easy to copy this writing. Small round bases. You can make them by hand. They are pretty close to the same size as one of the soldier bases, one of the infantry bases in the game. I happen to have found in a rummage amongst a rubbish box was a disc here with 6 holes in, so I can make 6 bases all fairly consistently the same, all bar a small lip on the side which can get dressed when I dress the things down. So that just speeds up the process for me because I make a few of these. I also happen to have some leftover putty which I'd squidged into a longer strip that I use those for my chimney stacks on my minor industrial complexes, and when I make a few of them in little batches. So it's a conglomeration of a few ideas. From having a disc, you then put a small hole into it. Angle and angles, are we getting this anywhere near right? The hole is slightly off centre because the balance point of the plane is slightly off centre. Okay? But you super glue one of these pieces of the tall thin strip, and I haven't got them very tall. I've got them down at plane height rather than at sea level rather than at the sort of plane height where you would have your bombers and fighters fighting, because I think Kamikazes come in at sea level, in my mind they do anyway. Super glue that into place, into there. You can file off the excess that sticks out the bottom, and you end up with a stand that's like this. When you start working with this being slightly off centre and you put a little piece of glue onto here, if you just pop this on, the bearing area, the surface bearing area, isn't really enough to hold that plane very nicely in place. Also, the super glue will set off the varnish a little bit, and it will slightly weaken the surface. You're relying on super glue, gluing to varnish, gluing to paint, gluing to plastic, and you find the plane will drop off fairly easily. So with a little Stanley knife, just back of the wing section where the wing is joined the fuselage is about the balance point of these planes. Scrape that paint away back to the plastic. That will give you a good surface area. Then I use a cocktail stick to apply the super glue. But again, if it's a flat surface area and a slightly rounded fuselage, you're not going to get a really good surface bearing. So with a needle file, I cut a small indentation, just deep enough for glue to sit in there, and it will meet up with the base of the plane at your joining point. And then literally you just place that on, you put a bit of super glue on top of there, put your plane on there, hold it for 5 seconds, and once it goes off, then your plane's all done. That would be your finished product there. Apart from, I've put some acrylic varnish around the putty when it's been finished, just to seal it and make it all consistent and tickety-boo, and a small pad on the bottom because I like to do that, But there's your finished piece. You see how it's done. I hope it's been informative, I hope it's been interesting, and I hope you give it a go too. Until the next time, be cool.